Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the first course from Hare Krishna Satsang Angarikula, titled as Basics of Bhagavad Gita course. In this course, there will be a conceptual discussion from the Bhagavad Gita, and we'll be dealing with how one has to accept Bhagavad Gita, why one has to accept Bhagavad Gita, what are the results which we'll be getting from Bhagavad Gita. The entire thing is dedicated to our beloved Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the respected representatives and our spiritual master. Most of us, even though we are in India, we have a question: why should I read Bhagavad Gita? What exactly I can get out of Bhagavad Gita? Is there any significance for my personal life or my career life? Right? There's so many questions. And surprisingly, we have a very wonderful answer. Definitely, Bhagavad Gita is offering all of us most precious gift. Yes, Bhagavad Gita offers everything and anything. Either you see or you wish or you feel. It's more beyond that. It is way beyond our normal basic understandings. But then now we have to raise a question to ourselves. What do I seek in my life? We can have a discussion. People in either of the platforms can either type in chat box or unmute if possible. The question is, what inspires you to live? LIVE. What do you seek out of your life? Every day we sleep, we get up, we move on, again rest, get up, wake up. What makes us keep on going? Right? For example, just to hint, some people might like to go out with friends on weekends, especially, and spend their entire time in nature, natural way, and have some free enjoyment or relaxation or refreshment, rejuvenation, and so on. They'll be actually always planning, okay, this week we are going out here. Planning is there, working out is there, waiting is there for that particular moment. Right? Or some of them might feel like, some may not like to go out, but they want to be with the family. They want to spend time with the family. Or some may want, like, yes, I have to do this thing. What is that thing? Maybe establishing a new company or getting a very good salary and ranking number one. Or maybe you have to go for some sports, like that. So there are different kinds of things. Please, we'll just check if there are any answers. Yeah. Yes, for most of us, like some likingness will be there, especially spending time with family. And some have their own passion. Okay. Thanks for your answers. Yes, we can think what encourages us to live a new day every time, right? Okay, we have a slide just briefing out what and all people might expect. Like as already some people are saying that their desire to leave or make a day move on is the family happiness, spending time with their family. Or some people like to go out and spend time with nature, planting, right? Or some people want to go for trekking or friends. Either of the cases, you see, people are engaged. See, here, persons are interested in their own things like patriotism, or some want to enjoy different kinds of foods in different places, different restaurants, local dishes. But apart from that, some people might have a likingness, like they want to help others. From that, they'll be like planning, okay, tomorrow I can help this person, maybe in some sort of non-governmental organizations or independent as a volunteer. These are all like something which is common, but again, we have some people who might be interested just in hunting. Don't be surprised to hear some people will be waiting to irritate someone because they have done something to them. Again, they would have got some bad response. They want to show them that they are doing. That is their like motto. But whatever the reason, whatever the desire one is seeking, as it is rightly titled here, whatever one may desire, out of different answers from here, we clearly notice that the root cause of our survival or my existence, my pursuance for each and every day, the root cause is the feeling of happiness, right? Everyone agrees. Either you choose to be with your family or go out for a planting or a trekking or a tour, helping a person, enjoying the delicious food or serving a patriotic feeling or any of this, maybe ranking or making your parents proud, whatever circumstances, whatever desire, whatever is pulling us, everyone for that work, ultimately the end is happiness. Hope everyone agrees with this. But then sometimes we see some people have difficulty to find happiness in their life. It's not always easy, it's challenging, right? In some conditions where people have seen different sorts of failures are like in further, they're seeking happiness again and again, but somehow it is going out of their way. They would have tried multiple ways. Route number 1, 2, 3, 10, 100. But now the person feels that is not finding any more happiness. For that particular person, is unable to feel happy, and most of the cases it turns into depression, and they don't feel like living anymore in that case. That's why we see so many cases raised in reporting of suicidal and deaths and so on. Either ways, if we consider, when you speak to a old woman who is very aged, okay, very elderly, very aged, and she's almost like she has a family which is left her behind, and like they send her money, but she has no company to her. If you go and speak, what they would often say, we would hear she saying that I've seen so many things in my life and now everything is gone. I've gone through so much. As of now, I don't have anything to see. I don't wish to be like here, and my bodily problems are increasing. I don't find so much of josh as I was in my youth. I used to jump around. Now, even if someone is giving me something to eat, I'm not able to enjoy. So, for that particular person, that particular old woman, everything seems to be out of happiness. Means she's not able to relish anything, right? So, she or that kind of situated people say, it's okay, even I'm going to die today. I'm ready. I've seen so many things, right? Why? Because the source of happiness is going on and on away from that particular person. The feeling or seeking happiness for them is more difficult or rarest, right? And in case we give any person of such sort to just say there is another source, right? They feel like yes, leaving more. It's understood. So the conclusion is that one wishes to leave as long as the source of happiness is felt. As long as the happiness is felt, happiness is there, they're able to enjoy. One likes to live for hundreds of years, even thousands or 10,000s or millions of years. If it is given, person will be happily relishing it. But in case the source of happiness is not there, person will no longer be willing to survive. But then, why are we discussing this about this word happiness? What is it in our discussion? We have the Vedanta Sutras facilitating our and supporting our quotations here that everyone wants to be happy. Anandamaya Abhyasa. Now we would have seen each and every person. If you go and ask a person, do you want to be happy or sad? Automatically, the answer, it's like automated answer, natural instinct answer, I want to be happy. There is a natural inclination. This is supported by our literatures as well. And like, for example, Vedanta Sutras and some philosophical discussions. Everyone, not only it applies to humans, here it says everyone, despite whether it's a man, woman, child, or a dog, a cat, an elephant, take an ant, everyone wants to be happy. The smallest insignificant ant to the greatest or gigantic animal or a person or a personality whom we have witnessed, no one wants to be sad. Everyone desires to be happy, right? So that is our natural condition. When our natural condition is like this, to be happy, and we are finding so many fluctuations in happiness, what is the nature of our happiness? Why exactly this is happening, right? We'll see that now. What exactly is the nature of happiness we experience? If I tell the happiness what we experience here is temporary, it is little befitting to our senses. Who is it temporary? But let's look at an example. Imagine a person has just got graduated. He is earning good salary because he has got placed in one of the best companies in that particular area, and he's doing well. And gradually, within 6 months, he seems to be like the best employee. His world is like okay. But as it goes on, 1 year, second year, third year, the challenges increases, and he feels like, oh, I'm doing again and again the same thing every day. Why is it? The repetition of the work. The same work which he was anchoring for before getting to that job, as he got in the first time, as he was experiencing, is not there. Or as years goes on or days goes on, never know how much time he has got in that particular job. As a job is been switched or he's been removed by the job due to various reasons, that particular person will now feel no more happiness in that particular act, right? Because the happiness which we see, that was temporary. The beginning it was happy, but later, no. Once the job is gone, no. Even if job is there, after a long time, never know whether that person will be happy or not. The second picture we see when like a person meets the another counterpart, they'll be happy. Eventually, the days goes on. It's a natural law. No one is going to stay here for every year or every millennium to come. People move on, people pass on, right? As the soul departs, the another person will be left alone. So the joy which was felt when the other person was there is no more felt for that person. They try to isolate themselves or become regretful, or they don't find any more reason to be surviving there, right? Why? Why is this happening? The person whom we met before is not there. Happiness is not there now. It was there before. It is not there. Means it is temporary. It does not only apply for these two examples. We can take n number of examples. Like as a child or as you are all in schools studying, you would have liked to play certain particular game. Now the interest of that particular game has gone, decreased, and you're no more interested because no more happiness is there. Or you like to eat some particular fruit or particular dish or sweet, anything. If a person is supplying you 24/7, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 1 week, can you enjoy the same food for the entire week? That's a question, right? How long can continuously a person can take up the particular food? Even though that was my liking, yes, this is my favorite food, yes, I'll take. But what has happened now? If it is continuously being coming, the happiness out of that particular food is no more felt. Again and again, we see the happiness which we experience is very much temporary, right? When we see everyone, not only for us, it happens for everyone. It is natural and applicable for everyone. In this particular world, whatever happiness I'm experiencing is very short-lived, very short-lived. Some people might have experience for few minutes, few hours, but as it goes on, the result or the title we can give is the nature of happiness in this world is very temporary. It's as stated in the verses as well. We can refer back in different quotations from Srimad Bhagavatam as well. Yes. Now let's move on understanding why is all this happening. Like if we have to check, let's hear from a person who knows everything. Who knows everything? The absolute truth. The absolute truth. Personality Krishna himself says that anyone who takes birth in this particular world has to undergo different types of material miseries. Means the miseries in this world for everyone. Okay, let's check. Like here, birth, death, old age, and disease. Everything here we see in the picture, starting from the birth, there is a labor pain. Death, there is a death pain. Old age, there is a suffering. And diseases, of course, any kind of disease, small, starting from small one, either a headache, cold, or a highest ones as of now, like cancer and so on, COVID, everything has got the sufferings. Miseries are bound. At the time of death, also, it is so much painful. So many records, scientific evidences are there that a person experienced like so many scorpions are like at a time, if they bite, how it will be. It is there even in the Shastras as well. The Vedic scientific scriptures. Right? Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. It is spoken by Krishna himself in chapter 13, verse number 9. So this is applicable to everyone. We can't tell that I have got so many millions in my bank account, maybe dollars also. I don't want to die. Now this is applicable to you also, sir. Everyone. Whoever has taken birth, man, woman, child, plant, animals, or birds, any living creature, has to undergo this material miseries. Whoever is existing has to definitely undergo all these miseries, starting from birth, death, old age, and disease, Janma Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Apart from this, okay, this is common and we easily understand. Like everyone, most of us would have seen one or other person suffering with disease or would have ourselves experienced diseases. Next one is like, as we are discussing, we'll see there are different types of miseries also. First one being the adhyatmic, means the sufferings, whatever I get, is either due to my body or my mind or my actions related to from within myself. What are those? Some diseases or some thoughts which put us into deep tension, stress level increases, then depression, and so on. Right? Maybe sometimes we hurt ourselves, not intentionally, while working. And bodily miseries are also there. As we age, starting from day one, as a baby grows, the age means we are proceeding. Our lifespan is decreasing. There's so much of miseries bound in there. For a small kid, even the development of a teeth is a misery. Right? All these are associated with body and mind as well. That is categorized as first misery of material existence, Adhyatmic. Second one, Adi Bhautik, where these kind of sufferings are felt by a person from another living being. Someone else is there who is causing that. For time factor, we can see someone is hitting someone, or someone is trying to hurt someone with a sword or a gun. Small things like pinching. Otherwise, animals also can do. Insect or a snake. Suddenly, when you're going for some place or you're crossing the forest area, some animals can interrupt your way, right? And they can cause your suffering. A panic will be there. In case they don't attack, it's okay. But many times, if we enter the boundary, any animal can give us. So anything which is getting us suffering from beyond us, means from another set of living being. That is Adi Bhautik. Even more a very common example for Adi Bhautik is when you're crossing a street, if a dog barks at you and is trying to attack you, easy to correlate, right? That is Adi Bhautik, miseries due to the other living entity. Now let's look at the last one for this particular type of miseries under material existence as Adi Daivik. Here the Adi Daivik means it's due to the nature. For as of now, let's understand this basic criteria where we have natural phenomena which is out of our control, completely out of our control. Even if a dog is coming and trying to attack us, we can try to shoo or we can protect ourselves. But in case the nature is putting us into difficulty through floods or earthquake, where will we run to? How will we protect ourselves? A tornado or a volcano. All these conditions are there, making us more and more prone to sufferings, natural disasters, right? So either of this can be affecting either of the person who is living at present or who has lived before or who is going to take birth. It is applicable for everyone. A person has to undergo the sufferings from the body and mind, adhyatmic. From the other living entities also he is going to suffer, that is adibhautic. From natural disasters and natural phenomena beyond the control of a normal, ordinary human beings, that is adi daivic. No one is left as an exception here. Everyone has to undergo this. So that is challenging there. So as we see here, and in Bhagavad Gita also it's very clearly explained, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna himself clearly tells all these things for us to understand, like what life we are living today is conditioned life. What is a conditioned life? Let's have a small picture for understanding. Our life seems to be conditioned. For example, we have so much of bodily restrictions. Like what? A person, even though is very happy for a while, he feels hunger. After some time, if he is not satisfying his bodily demands, he'll be having problem, right? He cannot withstand. That is a bodily restriction. Like a person has to take food, person has to breathe. No one can say like, yeah, I'm in a complex where I've got hair conditioner, I'm in a luxurious complex, I've got so much of arrangements here, artificial intelligence is there. I don't want air to breathe. Is there anyone who can say like that? Even if they say, they would have arranged at least oxygen mask and oxygen cylinder. Without breathing, any living person cannot sustain. There is bodily restrictions there. There's so much of demands from the society. Societal laws are there, right? As you just drive in a traffic lane, the rules are there. You should obey that. Otherwise, you'll be punished, right? No, you feel like, oh, I'm very happy now, or I want to reach the particular destination in very short time. I'll jump the signal. No, sorry, you can't jump over. If you jump over, you'll be punished. You'll have to pay the fine, right? There's so many demands from the society as well. How one has to behave, one has to accustom oneself into that particular area or working area or in the family area. What is he expected to do? And natural laws are also there. Aging. There's so many factors which make us conditioned. Means I cannot free myself from all these things unless I have this particular life, right? Conditions means I don't have freedom, no freedom. It is under full of material nature. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara. So one cannot enjoy this body unconditionally. There is no possibility. No, that is not at all possible that any person can unconditionally enjoy anything. That's not possible. It is being bound. We have been bound by this body restrictions. And now, as we keep hearing all this, okay, I wanted to enjoy the happiness, but happiness is temporary. I want to be free. No, sir, you cannot be free. No, madam, sorry. Your life is conditioned. Then what is our life? I've been born as a human being here. Human form of life I've been taken up. So what is that particular essence for me? What should I do with this? Any intelligent person who can think like, why am I undergoing all these miseries? Sometimes we don't go beyond, like, no time any person goes behind suffering and miseries, but still, those miseries are being forced on me. They are getting inflicted by force on me. And I don't want that. Why is all this happening? The moment we start, that particular is like intelligent person. Any intelligent person can do that, can start thinking. So, why the happiness in this world is temporary? Have you got that question? Then you are intelligent person. And how to make it extended or joyful? Krishna gives the answer. All we have to do is listen with full surrender and accept what Krishna is saying. But let's see how, yes, as we read the slides here, unless one is awakened to this position of questioning or is ready to inquire about all this, is no different from any other animal. Why? Because all these miseries are going to affect me as well and the other living beings also. If a flood is going to come, flood will not tell, oh, here is a human being, here is a dog, or here is a fish, or here is a bird. I will not affect the humans. No, everyone is going to be affected. But then humans have got this particular chance to think over. So any intelligent person can think over why it is happening to me. And the moment he starts questioning why is this happening and start to find the answer, how to get out of this miseries, what is the real purpose, how to make my human life resourceful or full of utility. From there, actually, the human life is being called as human life. Like, if at all we are not asking any sort of questions or just we are living like any other animal, then our life is not different from other animals. The moment we start asking, that is the essence, that is the point where our life is called or benefited as the human life. Okay, now we hear like, yes, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has told all this. But then, what is the authenticity of the Bhagavad Gita? Or how should I understand Bhagavad Gita? What are the results of learning and applying Bhagavad Gita? Right? When we hear all these miseries, says no one wants to be suffering, everyone wants to be happy. That's a natural instinct. It is directed by Krishna and confirmed. Okay. Apart from all these miseries, yes, this is applicable to you. Miseries are there, but still you can raise to a state where you will be eternal, like you'll be always happy, joyous state, the samadhi. When a person is suffering also, means so many inflicts will be there, but still a person can be so balanced that he will not be disturbed. Whatever the extent the pain is, or whatever the extent the trouble is being imposed on, whatever the force is affecting that person at that particular moment, still that person can stand very alert, never shaken, with calmness, and still be happy. So these are very important. So let's just read this. In that joyous state samadhi, this is declared by Krishna himself. In that joyous state samadhi, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness and enjoys himself through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth. Okay? So you'll be accepting the truth, you'll be always eternally in the state of joys. Next, upon gaining this, he thinks there is no greater gain being situated in such a position. Whoever is situated in such a position is never shaken, even in the midst of greatest difficulty. Okay. Next, this indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material contact. So here is a learning. Here is the application part of Bhagavad Gita. Right? Practically, if we start following it, we can see the results, at least few at the stages. So to add on here, before going to the next slide, we may think, oh, Krishna has told this. This is a long time event, maybe from some thousand of years ago, not in 2024 or recently in 1990 or 1980. Are there any evidences? Is it applicable? Is there any practical proofs even for today? Yes, you'll be finding all the relevant evidences as we go through. For this particular class, we have few examples already listed for this. We'll discuss in the later slides. So until then, we have to wait to see how it is applicable. Who are those people who have followed this and stayed happy, eternal, like nothing could shake them, despite of any miseries, any problems put on them, any sufferings, any bondage, how they stood, that we'll be seeing in the upcoming slides. In Bhagavad Gita, here, Krishna gives the picture of our reality. Like, he takes us through 5 subject matters. Let's see. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says there are 5 subject matters like Jiva, Ishvara, Prakriti, Kala, and Karma. So here, we'll be seeing each of these 5 topics are very important. So this will be discussed in detail in the upcoming classes based on sessions as per the requirement. For now, let's have a look at basic definitions for our understanding. Jiva, here in this first point, Krishna gives us understanding who exactly we are. What is our nature? So when we understand who we are, what is our nature, will help us to understand ourselves first. Okay. Next, let's take the point of Prakriti. Prakriti means what we look around, it's controlling, what's the nature, who is controlling that, and so on. Next, we have the Kala, the controlling factor, how time influences everything or controls everything. Right? Karma, how one should choose one's activities will be dealt, how our karma or actions influence our life. That also will be dealt in this. And who is the Ishvara? Is the Supreme. And what exactly it does? How is the source of everything? Everything manifests himself. And what is the role of Ishvara? And so on. This will be discussed in detail in the upcoming classes. So those are the 5 subject matters. And as we read Bhagavad Gita, we might have a natural tendency to raise a question, right? What should I take from Bhagavad Gita? Or why should I take this knowledge from Bhagavad Gita? Why not from other books? There are so many books being published every day. There are like so many softwares which have come up. You'll get so many things, but you will not get the absolute answers anywhere else, you'll get here, right? Why don't the other sources or the knots? Why don't the other books or other sources can be used as our source of knowledge? There are few points to be discussed on this. If we understand this, why should I take? Then it will be easy for us to understand and pay more attention towards our class. When we are gaining knowledge, like yes, now I want to learn something, I have to go through some source, right? There are two ways. First one being the Aroha Panta. It's like ascending process where we'll try to analyze, logical think, and we try to test practically and accept. But when it comes to the second one, Avaroha Panta, it's based on Shabda Pramana. And here, the knowledge is accepted based on the authoritative testimony. Seems to be a little technical, but we can have certain examples for understanding this. Like, there is a question. A person wants to check who is his father. Okay? So these days, most of us depend on the scientific evidences, scientific tests. Even in so many movies, we would have seen to check the father's confirmation. They'll go for paternity test, the DNA test. So when a person starts checking, okay, this person might be my father. So he'll have to take blood sample from there, give it to the lab, wait for a few days, check the matching. It's matching? No. Go for the another person. So he will continue for second person, third person, a fourth person is not able to identify. Already a week, month, maybe 6 months gone, but still he's not able to find. He continues, okay, let me check in the entire area at one stretch. Maybe 1 year gone, continues, okay, let's move on, move on, move on. He's not able to locate. He's not able to find the exact match. It is not so easy, right? Any random person you just choose and check, it is not easy to get back. So in case the DNA matching is not found or is not able to trace out, maybe that particular father is not even there in that country. At that particular time, this particular method may not work, right? It is time consuming. Sometimes unpredictable, we cannot even expect the results. If at all we try to check the other way, what is the other way? We can ask the person, okay, what are you doing? What are you going to check actually? Why are you doing all this like calculations, writing everyone's data, checking the DNAs and so on? What is the purpose behind that? You say, I want to know my father. Then you just go tell him, hey, fool, don't you waste your time. Just go ask your mother. Then like, let me check. Okay, what is there in that? If he just goes and asks the mother, what happens at that particular moment? Mother will not even take much time, right? Mother knows who is the father, and she is the actual final authority to declare who is the father. None of the practical experiments can confirm. That is there. Even in science, 99.99% maybe they can assure. That too maybe will be declared. In DNA paternity test as well. Okay. So, if at all we want the right absolute truth, we should approach the mother here in this case. Here, the identification of father will become very easy and confirmed by the mother because she is the final authority in this case. So, second one, here we see the receiving knowledge from the authentic authority, but the first one is by self logical interpretations and so on. Now, similarly, taking the knowledge of Vedas is a second kind of knowledge process. Okay. Now, Vedas are said to be coming from the absolute personality of Godhead, who is a supreme authority. He is no intermediate person here. He's a supreme authority. He knows the complete truth. Apart from him, no one else can know as much as truth he knows. We never know what is the complete truth, first of all. But everything is known by that particular person, the supreme authority, the God. Now, Bhagavad Gita is such a Vedic literature. It is been spoken by the Supreme Personality of God. As a part of Vedic scriptures, we also accept Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes it might feel difficult to accept, oh, what? This is spoken by God. So many things have been taught in our different communities or different educational sectors. Oh, God does really exist? Is he perfect? How to check whether that God really exists or how to accept, how to realize the authenticity. Now, for that, if any ordinary person says, I may listen or may not listen, right? But the person who has heard directly, like in a court, there is a case happening, they'll call for the eyewitness, right? They'll not ask, okay, secondary person, you heard something, third person, what you heard, okay, what you heard, they'll not hear everyone's answer there. They'll see the witness. So who heard Bhagavad Gita? Who actually was witnessing when Krishna was speaking? It was Arjuna himself, right? And how did Arjuna accept? Did he say, oh, Krishna, you are my friend. I've been with you. You are very good to me. I'll accept whatever you say. No, he didn't accept that way. He heard entire thing from Krishna and quoted even that he is accepting this because this is being tested, followed, and proven to be right by so many great, exalted stalwarts. Who are they? If anyone who is educated in Vedic scriptures, have been studying Vedas or so on, they'll be known. The great sages like Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa. They are all confirmed. Arjuna says this in Bhagavad Gita, right? As we read, if at all we have not read, as we read, especially the Bhagavad Gita which we are speaking, that is Bhagavad Gita as it is. There, everything is clearly stated how Arjuna is accepting it. As we read, we will also be having our understanding clearer and clearer. So, yeah, Arjuna declares, oh Krishna, I accept you. Param Brahma, Parandama, Pararam. Like he says, Krishna, you are the absolute truth, you are the absolute abode, everything. Why? Not just because you have told me, but whatever you have told is also been certified by great sages. See, that is the acceptance through the authority, right? So now, this was stated long back. In the modern times, also, we have great acharyas who have confirmed this. Most of us would have heard about Shankaracharya, who is very prominent in South India, especially in the Carnatic and Kerala regions. And when we see Ramanujacharya, in Telangana, Andhra, and Tamil Nadu, the Sri Sampradayas, and Madhvacharya again in Karnataka, Nimbaraka Swami, and very most recent one, Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And all this, there are so many other great acharyas in different sampradayas, bona fide disciplic successions, who have followed, tested it, and found the results by themselves. And after that, they have preached, they spread those words to everyone. Yes, you can trust on this, right? So, as we see, the evidences are there, but we have to spend or invest our time to understand that. So, as we tell all this, some might still ask, is there any direct proof for this? Like, can I realize all these secrets? Can I experience? Is there any chance that even I will also realize the complete truth? Yes, that is a common question, a very good question if it is raised. Don't stop there. Go ahead, and acharyas have confirmed that by direct perception of self-realization, like here he says, this knowledge is the king of knowledge. Bhagavad Gita, the king of knowledge, is the secret of all secrets. It's the purest knowledge. And because it gives direct perception of self by realization, means one has to realize. Okay? Even when Krishna says, like, you surrender to a teacher, you receive a knowledge, there he never says blindly accept. Neither did Arjuna accept. Krishna also told, Pariprashnana, you ask questions and experience, like you get the results, but in the mood of surrender and humility. And here, Arjuna also proves with acceptance. Practically, we can also. Why? Because if someone says, like, I have made this particular sweet and it is so delicious, right? You will be feeling, okay, this is so delicious. Is it 50% sweet, or it is highly sweet or low sweet? How will you experience? That person says means you can't know everything, right? For example, you see some person is blind and he wants to know how the color is been reflected. What is the color of the leaf, he asks. You tell green. How can he feel? You are experiencing. You can understand. You can have a realization. But a blind person who has never felt, he just hears. How can he feel? How can he understand? How can he realize? That is way beyond his experience. So all of us have to undergo this particular process. We have to follow some things to gain out of that particular process. If at all we want to have realizations, we have to accept. To taste is something like it says as taste of pudding is in eating. If you have to get a taste of something, you have to eat. You have to endeavor. You have to act. Only then this will be experienced. Again, there comes a question, oh, so many people I see they have been experiencing, but then what happens? We'll take another example here of a geography class teacher. Okay. There, your class teacher is there or geography teacher is there. She or he shows the atlas and says, see, this particular region is called America. She points to the America in the map and says, but at that particular moment, you cannot go to America and verify, oh, is this region beside the Atlantic Ocean? Is this America? Can you see immediately going there and verifying by yourself? No. Immediately you cannot jump out of the class or you cannot get the ticket by yourself and travel in seconds to verify. But Maybe if you check with other people and ask over a call or maybe personally, they'll say, yeah, it is there. So you can recheck. So same way Arjuna also told, right, in Bhagavad Gita, like, I have accepted because this was also spoken by Narada, Sita, Devala, and Vyasa. He didn't accept blindly. We can accept this knowledge as authenticity only because we have been proven. Or next we have to ourselves experience. For like in the previously discussed example in geography, we now the teacher points out, okay, if at all you have to reach to Delhi, start from Kerala, whichever area you are in. Suppose that person has to start from Kerala and he has to go through Karnataka, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and finally reach UP and the destination Delhi. Okay. Now we have heard from the geography teacher. She has shown in the atlas. You have rechecked with the visitors. But will you accept, okay, this I have cross-checked myself, I have realized, I know how is Delhi, what is the environment there, what and all things are there, what is the food taste there, what is the air, atmosphere felt there. The realization is still not there. So what one has to do? One has to start, right? So they'll start by train or a bus or any other vehicle, okay, on road. And as they move, hours, a day passed, then what happens? That particular person sees, oh, the teacher has mentioned that this was there. What? Next state was Karnataka. These were the places. Then we move on to Maharashtra. Here you see the person has not still reached the destination. Delhi is not arrived. But still, person sees the intermediate steps or stages there. So sometimes, even though the Vedic process or the scriptures which have been declared might take time, but for a sincere practitioner who is continuously endeavoring, it is assured, even by the intermediate results, he can know this is true, this is authentic. So don't be scared to start whether I'll reach the destination by today or tomorrow. No, you will be assured, sir. Just like a woman who is experiencing pregnancy, she cannot see everything, the child development, but it takes long time, 9 months. Photosynthesis, you cannot just start and you can experience within seconds. No. Likewise, everything has got its own time based on the individual's ability and so on. Even before reaching the destination, one can be directly assured about the authenticity. This applies for the Bhagavad Gita as well. If we follow the principles and the instructions given to all of us in Bhagavad Gita, we are assured of attaining that joyous state. So now, next classes onwards, we have to discuss more on how to understand the authenticity of Vedas. Okay. And what are the recent examples based on which we will be speaking? Like, you can have more questions and more topics to be discussed on that. All that will be discussed. Like, is this Vedas applicable today also? What is the proof? And who has accepted this? And which particular Acharya has established this? Are there followers showing any results there? Everything will be discussed. In a gist, we'll be seeing how the people have improved themselves or stayed in the joyous state, means overcome the material miseries in the recent era. Not long back, we'll discuss the recent ones, very recent ones, even up till 2024. Okay. Hope that class will be very interesting because that will give us a better picture and more inspiration and motivation to understand and accept Bhagavad Gita to implement in our lives. Now, we will conclude the class just in a few minutes. Before that, any questions people who are watching in YouTube or any other social platforms, you can WhatsApp your questions to this particular number. In case of any queries, we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So, in just for today's conclusion, we saw how Bhagavad Gita is powerful and how one has to accept. Why one has to accept? Because everyone of us are bound to be happy, but there are so much of miseries, material miseries, janma, mrityu, jara, vyadi, adi bhautik, like so many problems. But in the same Bhagavad Gita, when the miseries are discussed, the solution is also declared to be joyous. And how to accept that? Who has accepted it? Also, we have seen. The next class will be discussing on the more recent evidences and how one has to accept. So, in case anyone is not having Bhagavad Gita, it's high time. Okay, please have your own personal copy of Bhagavad Gita as it is in your home. You can see the display picture here. It's available in multi-language across the world in different languages. So feel free to contact. In case you are in Kerala, we have the ISKCON headquarters in Guruvayur. So ISKCON Guruvayur, you can have a browse and you can order your personal copy. It will be delivered as soon as possible in English. Or in case you are close by to this particular area, we can also try to assist you in getting your personal copy. What is the most significant of this Bhagavad Gita? Why you have to read this Bhagavad Gita? What is hidden in this particular Bhagavad Gita called as it is? Who has written this? Is Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. That will be discussed in the next class. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you all. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Okay, let's end the meeting by glorifying using our time for chanting the Hare Krishna mantra once. It's very powerful. You can chant in your own circumstances. Anytime and every time is very good. So let's chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.